really fired up about playing in this bowl game. One thing that was great, it's going to be great for our fans because of the proximity. We expect to have a big crowd, and that's always good. That's what's so great about being a Red Raider. Our Red Raiders, follow us, and then the second thing, I was excited about playing Cal. They've got a great program. There's a lot of connections, not really with me, but with my defensive coordinator, Tim DeRuiter, and Marcel Yates, Ryan Connery. They were all at Cal, and they say some great things about Justin, and I can't wait to meet him and get to talk to him. And then the last thing for a Texan, I've crossed the Louisiana border plenty of times. I've driven down the highway and seen the Independence Bowl, and it's really a storied bowl. There's been so many great games, and for just a football geek like me to be able to coach in a game like this, I'm really excited. So worked out perfect for us, and we'll be ready to go. It's going to be a fun game. With that, I'll open up with any questions.
What were your first initial thoughts of Shreveport when landed here?
Well, the last time I was here, I was actually getting a young man, Macho Stevenson. I did an in-home visit, and me and Coach Yates, and we have, I think 3, maybe 4 Louisiana players on our team, and I love Shreveport. And then of course, my wife likes blackjack, so we've been here quite a few times.
For those kids, Macho, how special is it for them to be back here and play a game like that?
I think it's big. He and Justin Horn were kind of talking about it, and I was actually in the lobby, and some of the players were standing by Macho, and I said, y'all got any questions? This dude will tell you exactly where to go. And so it is because the families, whenever they trust us, whenever you're maybe not from Texas, a player from Texas, or you're not kind of familiar with Texas Tech, it's a trip to get out there to the games, and they've been out to a lot of the home games. His family has, but to be able to play in front of his family again in his home state, it's exciting.
Is playing before Christmas versus after Christmas in that little week that everybody else plays, does it make any difference to you? Better, worse, about the same?
Really with us, it was the bowl and the opponent, and we got 2. We had a home run with both of them, checked both boxes. I will tell you, I got really nervous whenever we found out, like the date, because Texas Tech graduates this weekend, and I was like, I'm fixing to get a lot of moms upset with me. But our president, we had, I think, every dean of college of my guys that graduated. We did a ceremony on Monday, and so it was pretty incredible. I think, actually, if you ask the parents and the players, it was probably better than just a regular graduation because it was such an intimate setting, and everybody was there. We had a board of regents that talked, and so it was really cool. So that was the only thing, like the 16, I was a little nervous about, but it worked out perfectly.
Joey, when you went to Moss
we found it out about a week ago. He had been with us early, and then, I think it's one of those deals, and I always tell the players, man, I'm going to back your decision anyway, whichever way you go with these guys, because he's going to be drafted, and I think the people who represent him thought it was better, to start training. So he's already in Miami, training for pro day. I expect him to get invited to the combine. And so you always want your guys to play, but I understand if you have the opportunity to get drafted, that's life-changing. And so I'm always going to side with those guys, and, always, have those guys' backs.
I'm sure it's not the Beaver 6 Bowl that you and every FBS team envisioned you guys playing to start the year, but playing the Independence Bowl, how do you guys keep the motivation of the players to play for a bowl game in the season?
I think our expectations. We've had a crazy year. I've done it for 29 years. I've never had this many injuries. That to go through the year, and we're sitting there at 3-5, and there's a lot of teams in the country that would have folded, and we did. We went on a 3-game winning streak. We're getting healthier and healthier. Like Jacob Rodriguez, our Mike linebacker, played in those 3 games. He had been hurt most of the year. He's back. He's going to play in the bowl game, and so I was proud of the guys the way they fought. And then again, man, really excited to be playing in this bowl.
Joey, Zach and Tim talked a little bit about who on your team is going to have those?
Yeah, we practice Thursday and Friday with them. I'm real hard Monday and Tuesday. Maybe we've done it for 4 practices. I'm really excited about that. One thing that I believe, if you're going to change the game in college, then you already have a game that's doing the things like that. So don't go out on your limb, do what the NFL's doing. And so on offense, Barry Morton, so the quarterback will be the only guy on offense. On defense, both our safeties and our linebackers. So if it'll be Rabbit and CJ will have them, and then Jacob Rodriguez. And then if you rotate their backups, if they come in, then they'll have them. It's been great. I'm really anxious because it's about time to get to that, to be able to do that. It's working well in the NFL, and I definitely think it's going to be great for college football. It'll be interesting what they do with the rules of, how they implement. Do they could shut it off after 15 seconds and all that? But for practice, man, it's been great. It's fun to listen. It really is for me. I'm the only other guy that's going to be able to talk to those guys, and it's been fun to listen to Tim talk to the defensive guys and Zach talk to Barron and Jake whenever he's in there.
How important are the extra practices that come with the bowl game? Is too much made of it, or are they crucial to next year?
No, they're for me. Man. I'm a high school coach that gets to coach college football, and whenever you got in the playoffs, you got to develop a lot of freshmen, and that's the way we look at it. Like whenever when we were able to make the bowl, and after the Texas game, the old guys didn't practice for 4 practices. We practiced all the freshmen and redshirt freshmen, and so it's huge. And then if you look at our team, we're really old or we're really young. There's not a lot of in between on our roster. Our 3 safeties, our backup safeties, are all true freshmen. And so for those guys to get the practices are absolutely huge. I mean, if you think about it, whenever you make a bowl and you get those practices in, then you get spring football with those guys, it gives you a huge jump to 2024.
You didn't get any signing with the guys in practice?
No, that was the only thing, with the day, because they're still in school. So with the date of the bowl, that we didn't have anybody that they still had attendance. They had finished everything, but they still have attendance to make sure they cover before their school's out.
How much does Texas Tech playing in this region help with recruiting for this area?
We just sent out, I just posted it on social media. Our 2 practices are going to be open to all coaches, and high school athletes. So it's huge. Louisiana is a great football state. I mean, as good as there is in the country when you're talking talent. And so we're excited. It's big. And then whenever you think about it, we're going to have a couple guys that are committed to us. They're right there on that border, the Houston area. They're going to be coming to practice. And so it's good, for those guys to be able to come check us out. But you couldn't, like last year we were able to play in the Texas Bowl. You're playing in Houston, another great place for us when it comes to recruiting.
Coach, you talked about the history of the Independence Bowl. The first memory a lot of outsiders have is the Snow Bowl. I'm sure you remember that from 2000.
Yeah.
Where were you in 2000? And you were on New Year's Eve probably watching that game, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, 2000. I was at Cedar Hill High School. I was still an assistant, and I'm sure I was sitting in my living room. I watch every bowl. Again, I'm a football geek whenever it comes to. I'll be following the Texas high school playoffs started today in Cowboy Stadium, so I'll be following those scores all day long. They go for the next until Saturday, and then I'll watch every bowl that I get a chance to. I love it, and so just the pageantry, just like coming into this building, and I thought it was so awesome for the players to understand, what it means to be in a bowl game and to appreciate what we get to do. Yeah, I'm trying to think. The question marks will be Dylan Spencer, possibly. On the offensive line, the starters that I've said they're going to start, we're good. Offensively, I think we're in good shape. Jordan Brown, possibly, we'll see how he's got a hamstring, so it's always tough with a wide receiver. But defensively, besides, Miles, I think everybody that, we've practiced with and played in the last game, I can't think of anybody that's not. Because like Cam Watts is back, B.J. Jordan's back. Those are guys that got banged up against Texas, and so they've been practicing.
Got time for about 1 or 2.
What is the one now?
Shoulder.
Given that he and Miles play the same spot, who's
Yeah.
going to that spot?
Yeah, so we'll go, we've got a couple different packages, but you'll go with Charles Esters and Joseph Adedire at the 2 ends. Joseph is able to play FMD, and then you've got Harvey Dyson, you've got Terrell Tillman, Amir Washington. The last 3 weeks of the regular season had moved to F, so we're pretty young whenever it comes to the 2s and 3s, but some really good players. I hate it for Dylan if he can't go because he's had. That was one thing you always look at if you have older guy that doesn't play in the game, then you're going to have a young guy, be really excited because we got some young wide receivers that are going to play in the game that, they're pretty fired up. Kelby's really excited. He should be able to get some reps at inside receiver.
Still on shoulder and things going to be
No.
Hey, Coach, has college conferences changed seemingly every day? It seems like, is this kind of the last year of normalcy in modern-day college football?
Yeah, I think so. We were at a deal last night, and I was talking to a guy that's a diehard. I mean, he's from California, and he was like, "Man, it's sad that the Pac-10 and now the Pac-12. This is it." And I said, "I know. I mean, in 4 years, you're going to look up. We won't really know what it looks like, but it's still, the bowls and the playoffs and everything like that. I mean, that's what it's all about whenever you can get into play in December and January, and it's a lot of fun. That's what you go into the season, and one of the first goals is to make a bowl game, and we're here."
What about Caleb? Caleb's nice position though that he's going to be back in next year. What is that?
That's huge, because he's such a leader. I mean, he's one of our team captains. His thought process, he had a draft grade. His thought process, we're going to move him inside. I don't know if he'll play center or guard for us next year. Of course, he can still play tackle, but the NFL was like, if we can get some tape with him moving inside and playing that, because that's what he's going to play in the NFL. Now we're not projecting. We know he can do it. And so it was huge. I mean, we had two of the best things you could say. Taj Brooks, the 4th leading rusher in the nation, saying he's coming back, and then Caleb saying he's coming back.
So if Caleb moves inside, the tackles going into the spring offseason,
Ty Buchanan. Yeah, we're going to move Ty to right tackle. You've got Matt Keeler. You've got Dalton Merriman, that came in at the first year that wasn't eligible this year. You've got Daniel Seal, and then you see what you get whenever it comes to the recruiting part.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank y'all very much.